Toxic BL couples. Hello BL lovers, welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I want to discuss some BL couples that have a toxic relationship. All BL fans love to see a happy ending of the two main leads, but if the relationship is too toxic, I would prefer them not ending up together. In this video, I will be discussing the toxic BL couple I wish don't end up together. So without further ado, let's get started. Number 1, Ming and Joe. One of the best BL series that aired and shake the fandom this year is My Stand-In. Although this BL series leaves a remarkable memory on my head and it makes me see love in another way round. But that was me being Delulu after the series finished airing and I came back to reality. I wouldn't mind if Joe ended up with Saul or another person, because at the beginning of the series we have seen how cold and toxic Ming was, and if this really happens in reality, either Joe or Ming will probably end up finding themselves in the criminal book of all time. And that is it, because neither Joe or Ming is willing to leave the relationship despite how Ming knocked him out and kidnapped him in his past and eventually made him lost his real identity. Even if it looks like Joe deserves better, but Joe doesn't want a better for himself because he had options to choose from, but he still chose Ming. Anyway, I don't find their on-screen romance enjoyable, and I am not pleased with their happy ending. Number 2, THN and OA. In as much as I fancy these two main characters, I would not mind if they don't end up together in the finale episode. As a BL fans who have watched over 1000 BL series, but this series is still in my top 10 best BL series of all time. However, there are some outlook of this drama which made me not to romanticize the main couple's romance. Tae is such a problematic character, as he was found of falling in and out of love from the very first season. To me, I really do believe that Tae learned to love OA, as it was not something natural because he was so selfish and inconsiderate of OA. In the first and second season, we could see that Tae was so jealous of OA, which is not normal in a relationship. But OA was too in love to see that as a red flag, and he got the gut to look into another man's eye in romantic ways in the event his boyfriend was present. This is such a disrespectful character. Them ending up together after the roller coaster of emotions OA went through is what makes a lot of BL fans not going back to watch this series. It will have been more perfect if OA really moved on and be with someone better. But Tae was his first love and he keeps choosing him over and over again. But if we leave the fictional world to reality, Tae is who he is. So OA will have to love him for who he is. Number 3, THN and Type. This couple is part of the character that promotes BL series more back then because they have a great chemistry together, and they actually did a great job in promoting the series on and off screen. There was no a lot of BL series back then, so I really fancied this couple a lot and rooting for their happy ending. However, after the first season, it became more obvious that Type is a problematic character, and somehow, I think THN is getting what he deserves. I would say THN started it all and knew exactly what he was getting himself into, because, in reality, no gay man wants to go close to a homophobic person, not to talk of falling in love. The plot of the series itself is problematic and traumatizing. That is why a lot of fans do not like the whole storyline of the series, but the series still managed to choose a much more romantic approach than the realistic one, which is quite understandable. Although my opinion of not wanting them to end up together is because of their different in-persons and personalities, and they also see things differently, which make me think both THN and Type deserve someone else. Number 4, Kai. And third, if there is something I can change about BLS is that when one of the main characters is so toxic, the other deserves someone better. Seeing them work on their relationship make me unable to romanticize their love. Although Theory of Love was one of my favorite BL dramas, which I enjoy watching because of how the actors made the story relatable to reality, but I do not like how it ended because of how toxic Kai was. If I am to relate it to reality, I would have said Kai was possessive of his friend and would do anything to keep him because it's so obvious that he was scared of losing him to someone else. But it's quite annoying to see Third giving someone who clearly plays with his emotion a chance to make up for his mistakes. Anyway, the actors have great chemistry together, but the director could do better by doing justice to Third. Number 5, Top and Mew. It's a very unpopular opinion, so I will say less on this couple. As for me, I do not believe people change for another person. He was a player, and all of a sudden, he wanted to be in a relationship after barely knowing this person, because he wanted to prove Boston wrong. You may want to defend him that he was tricked by Boston, but someone who had lived that kind of life before should not be easily fooled by Boston. He was a red flag because he thought he would be able to take charge of him since he thought Mew was naive, but at least, he had realized that Mew is not as weak as Buston said he was, and adjusting to a lifestyle for Mew is something definitely going to be difficult, but he does it, anyway. I think Mew need a partner that is more innocent, and I also think Top needs someone like him. Number 6, It and Day. The fandom does not like the plot of this series because of the problematic and disturbing character. I mean, is it trying to portray a love story, or are they training for wrestling? I will say they are a toxic BL couple, but I still like how they both ended up together because they are both as toxic and messed up as much as each other. They understand and completed each other according to the plot, but leaving each other means they have to be with someone else. Being with someone else is another problem because no one deserves either of them. The novel, which the series was adapted from, had shown how toxic it was, even if it was not as much as Day. But its character is a problematic one while Day on the other hand is a villain, so we can't let them leave each other so other people will not be a victim of both of them. If you also agree with me on It and Day, let me know in the comment section. Number 7, Vagas and Pete. One thing that the fandom haven't accepted is that Pete is capable of doing what Vagas was doing to him because after all they are both in the mafia. The only difference between them is that Vagas is under the pressure of his parents and is desperate, but Pete was a servant. However, as Pete was a lover boy and did so many things for love in the series, I really do think he deserves better. Pete has a good heart despite his profession, while Vagas is messed up so terribly that he keeps bleeding on Pete no matter how hard he tries to help him. Pete really needs someone better. While Vagas needs to be in a rehabilitation center and focuses on how he will get his mental health back together. Although I like them so much because of the acting skills, but their happy ending is not needed. I like their chemistry so much, but it is just so hard to romanticize this kind of love. Lastly, I will be adding the couple from the ongoing BL series, Meet You at Blossom. Although it seems too early to judge, but from looking at the characters of the main couples, Huai and Xiao Bao are not compatible. We could see that Xiao Bao was a nice guy who loves women. He is a spoilt child, but his life is quite better because his family loves him and he grew up in love, while Huai on the other hand grew up in pain and the two coincidentally fell in love. In as much as I know they will end up together, I really wish that didn't happen, but this friction writer will always make us delulu, although all he did was unintentional. But his actions had put Xiao Bao in a lot of pain, even though his parents are actually facing the consequences of their actions. And apart from that, Huai is a very toxic boyfriend. He is so toxic that I can't romanticize their relationship anymore, even though they had a very sweet chemistry. He is also a manipulative person because he knew what he was about to do to Xiao Bao before he made him promise him that no matter what he did he will forgive him. If at the end of the series Xiao Bao get a better man for himself, it will be more reasonable, but the chance of that happening is so slim. But I'm still wondering how Huai will confront Xiao Bao and his family when explaining himself. Anyway, let's wait till the end to see if this two will end up together or not. As a BL fan, which other toxic couple did you wish did not end up together? As for me, these are the best of the list of actors that I think did not deserve each other. You can add yours in the comment section. Thanks for watching. I hope to see you in my next video.